Hey, this is Dave from Unipro, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you can plan 1 month of social media content in 20 minutes or less. And you're going to walk away with a 1-month content calendar, not only that plans out all of your content for that month, but it actually drives sales. That's the goal, is to create content that's actually going to generate revenue for your business. And this content planning strategy that I'm about to show you is exactly the strategy that I use with all my online businesses. And here's one of my businesses, and you can see that it does about $100,000 a month in sales. And the content calendar responsible for all these sales is exactly what you're about to see. So let's dive in. So if you've got an online business and you're wanting to make some more sales, you're probably thinking about creating content. You're probably creating content or wondering how you can do it better. Well, get a load of this stat. Most businesses, so this is the average, spend $200 to $300 a day on social media ads. And so this includes the actual ad spend, paying for the ads, but also for the content creation. That turns into $126,000 per year spent on content.
That is a lot of money. Wait, is this a joke?
And when you see that number, if you're a small business owner like myself, you might think there's no way that I'd spend that much money on content. And that might be actually a good idea, because I'll show you something. When you start outsourcing your content, when you start paying for someone else to create your content for you, you often lose authenticity. What do I mean? I'm over here on my Facebook personal profile, and you'll see that a lot of the posts that I create are about business. Here's a business post, but here's a personal post showing a vacation with me and my family. And when you start outsourcing your content creation, this sort of feel, the authenticity behind content like this is really lost. I'm going to compare this with an example. I'm over on Coca-Cola's business page here. And when you take a look at the content that Coke creates, well, it can easily be outsourced because it's faceless. It's for a big corporation, a big brand. But if you're a small business owner, this is exactly the type of content you want to avoid. You need your content to feel personal and genuine if you want your followers to actually trust you enough to make a purchase from you. So spending money to outsource your content creation, bad idea. It's going to hurt your results. I'm going to show you something else that'll hurt your results, is purchasing content. And I'm over here, I'm in Etsy, and I just did a search for fitness related content. So imagine that you're a fitness coach. You can see you can buy all kinds of content here. You can buy a content bundle of social media posts. You can buy ebooks. You can buy Instagram posts. This is called white label content because anyone can purchase it and use it as their own. And maybe this sounds great. You spend 40 bucks and instantly you've got tons of pieces of content. But again, there's a problem. This is removing any sort of personalization, any sort of authenticity from your content. And what you end up with is very faceless, generic content, just like all your competitors. And that's not going to lead to sales. And so you want to avoid this. Please do not go out and buy white label content like this. So what's the solution? How do you manage making all the content yourself for your business and making sure that your content is actually generating sales? Well, I'm going to start by showing you 3 content planning mistakes that are going to help save you a lot of time. And then we're going to dive into a 5-step process that'll allow you to create an entire month's worth of social media content in just 20 minutes. So the first mistake is creating content that doesn't have any theme. And I'm going to show you an example here. I'm going to go over to this profile here. And Samantha, if you watch this, please don't take this personally. This is a mistake that I see so often when I see coaches or business owners creating content on social media. So you see Samantha's post here. She says, unlock loving relationships. And it looks like it's sending people over to a blog article talking about loving relationships. Then we've got POW, Power of Women. It looks like some sort of event for women. Then we've got this post where she's talking about her own personal healing journey, and she talks about spiritual healing and emotional healing. And so all these posts, while they seem to target women, they don't really have a theme that allows Samantha's audience to buy in and say, yes, that's what I need. And I'm going to show you how you can solve this problem if this is you too. If your posts are disjointed like Samantha's, I'm going to show you how you can solve this in just a second. But that's the first mistake, is not having a theme for your content. The second mistake when it comes to creating a content calendar or creating content is focusing on just posting but not promoting. Let me show you an example that illustrates this point. Here's the analytics for a live video post that I did on my personal profile. And I just went live. I didn't do any promotion. I had some information that I wanted to share with my audience, and so I just went live. And you can see the results here. On average, I had 47 people who were watching this live video with me. And at the maximum, there was 60 people. And you can see there was about 1,100 total minutes of watch time. So not bad. It got some engagement for sure. But I want to contrast this with a different live video I did that had a lot of promotion behind it. So I'm going to go over to this live video here, and let's go down and take a look at the insights here. And you can see that this particular live video got almost 2,600 engagements, but here's the really impressive number, is there were over 1,300 people who watched this particular live training. And when you go down here, you can see that there's almost 2,000 video views. So you can see that the reach, the number of people who watched this, the number of people who engaged, way higher. And it was because I didn't focus on just creating content, posting, but instead focused on promoting. And again, I'm going to show you how to do this in just 1 second. But that's the second mistake, is just posting, not promoting your content. And then the third mistake is creating content that doesn't have what's called a conversion mechanism. A conversion mechanism, I'm going to show you an example here. I'm going to go take a look at Coach Q here. Looks like a fitness coach, and he creates a lot of content, creates a lot of videos, creates a lot of pretty engaging content. But if you go through here and take a look at this content, there's no conversion mechanism. He's giving out a lot of information, he's creating a lot of value, he's creating a lot of inspiration, but there's no direct way to say to his audience, hey, it's time to make a purchase. And if this is you, you're just creating content, but you're not really sure how it's going to turn into sales, don't worry, I'm going to show you a solution again in just a second. And so those are the 3 content mistakes that you need to avoid. Not having a theme, just posting content but not promoting it, and then not having a conversion mechanism, just creating content with no clear way to actually make sales from it. Now we're going to transition over and I'm going to show you how to create a 1-month content calendar that fixes all these problems, and you can do this in 20 minutes or less. I do want to note that I use Facebook. I think Facebook is highly underrated for creating content when it comes to conversions, making money, not just posting and getting likes and followers, but actually converting into paying customers and clients. So you're going to notice that I'm going to be talking all about Facebook. You can use the same strategy, the same type of content calendar on any social media platform that you want to use. So let's get started. There are 5 steps that you need to follow. The first step is choosing a theme. Now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to show you this spreadsheet that I use and all of our Unipro clients use to create their monthly content calendars. And you'll see right at the very top right here, it says monthly theme. So in this example, I'm going to say that the theme is get more group members. And this is one of the things that we teach and that we help people do is fill up their Facebook groups with leads. And so you can put whatever your theme is, and then you want your content to flow from that theme, meaning that all the pieces of content that you create this month have something to do with that theme. So you're catching your audience's attention and you're getting them to raise their hand figuratively over and over again saying, yeah, I've got that problem. Yes, I need help with that. It's not disjointed content. It's all content that has a theme that's leading people somewhere. So that's your first step. Choose your theme. Second step is to pick a conversion mechanism. And here's where we actually get planning out the actual pieces of content. So here's what I like to do is I'm going to scroll down to the end of the month here. So this is the last day of the month, and you're going to see that there's 4 rows here. Well, what do these represent? The first one is content that goes on my personal profile. The second is content that goes inside my free group. This is where I attract leads and nurture leads. The third place for content is inside my group for members. These are paying clients only. And then finally, content that goes out to my email list. And so I recommend you do something similar to this. Separate the different locations where you're creating content. Now, in terms of making conversions, we need to have a mechanism, a way that people see an offer and say, yes, I want to buy. And so for me, most of my conversions happen right inside here. This is my free Facebook group where I give a ton of value and where I make offers to interested people inside my audience. And so what I'm going to say is that on Tuesday, the 30th of this month, I'm going to host a workshop inside my free Facebook group. This is the conversion mechanism. I'm going to offer a lot of value here, and then I'm going to make people an offer. And so you can choose any conversion mechanism you want. You could do a workshop as well. You could do a live seminar. You could do a 3-day challenge. You could do whatever you want. There just has to be a very clear way for people to say, yes, it's time for me to buy. So now that you've got a theme for your month of content and you know what your conversion mechanism is, the third step is to work backwards from that conversion mechanism and think about how are you going to use content to promote your conversion mechanism. I'm going to do an example with you here that's very similar to the type of content planning that I would do. So if I was doing a 1-day workshop here, the day before that workshop, I might post a reminder post inside my free Facebook group. I also might post a reminder post on my personal profile. And then if people aren't inside that free Facebook group, they're going to see that this workshop is happening. They might say, hey, I'm interested in that. And then I can get them to join the Facebook group and participate in the workshop the next day. And this is a great start, but we need to do a lot more promoting than just this. What I like to do is about a week before the actual conversion mechanism happens is I like to go into my free group and I create an event. And I'll show you an example here. So here's an example of an event that I did. And it says Facebook Visibility Clinic, diagnose how to increase your post engagement, works for every niche. And so this was for a live training that happened inside of this Facebook group. Again, this was a conversion mechanism. And so I create an event like this. I invite the members from my free group to come and attend. And you can see in this case, this got 201 people to show up for this event inside my Facebook group. So this is one step to promote, but I don't want to stop there. I'm going to back up a week before this and I'm going to create a poll again inside of my free group. And let me show you an example here. So I'm going to go back over inside my free group here and you'll see that I did create a poll and it says, we want to help your Facebook group grow faster, need your input. And you can see this post reached 401 people, got 70 votes. And now I've got a bunch of momentum. I've got people thinking about growing their Facebook group. And so you can see how this is creating some buzz and some excitement for the workshop that I'm about to launch in a couple of weeks. But I'm not going to stop there. I'm going to go back into my content calendar and the week before the poll, I might go into my profile and post a two-step post. And if you're not familiar with a two-step post, let me show you an example here. I'm gonna go over to my Facebook personal profile here, and I'm gonna pretend that I was posting about that conversion mechanism, the workshop that's helping people fill up their Facebook groups. And so what I like to do is I put this on a colored background. Let me read this out to you. It says, if I hosted a free workshop to help you add 100 to 200 new members to your Facebook group per week, would you be interested? Now notice that this goes over on my personal profile. Why? This is starting to promote the event that's happening inside my free Facebook group. And so now I know that people who are on my profile, they're going to start saying, yeah, I would like help with that. Yes, I'd like help. And those people who are already part of the free Facebook group, great. Now they're going to commit to showing up for the workshop. And those people who aren't part of my free group, now here's an opportunity for them to raise their hand and say, yeah, I'd like to fill up my Facebook group. And then I can invite them to come and join the group. So not only am I getting people engaged on my content, but I'm also filling up my Facebook group. Pretty cool, right? Let's take a look at what we've got right now. So I've got promotion here. I've got promotion with my poll. I've got a promotion with an event. I've got promotion with these two reminders. All of this is funneling people towards my conversion mechanism, which in this case is this workshop. So that's the third step, working backwards from your conversion mechanism, creating promotional posts that are driving people to show up for your event or whatever you're using to convert people into paying customers and clients. And now step number 4 is to fill in the rest of the content for the month. So let me show you how I like to do this. I'm going to put win posts every Tuesday. There's a poll here, so I don't need to do a win that day. There's an event here, and then the workshop is here. So in this case, I've got 2 wins. Now, what type of wins do I want to use? Well, I want to use client wins that are related to the theme for the entire month of content. Let me show you an example over here. This is a testimonial from one of our Unipro clients, Angela. She says, I got 700 new ladies added to my group since I started using Unipro, and that's with 0 paid ads. Thanks, Dave and Lucy.
That's awesome.
And so this is a perfect win type post because it's talking about filling up a Facebook group. And that's my theme for the month. You can do this as well. Start creating testimonial posts that are relevant to the theme for all your content in that given month. Now let's go back to our calendar and we're going to fill in some more blanks here. For me, I like to post on my personal profile every Monday. And so I might post something that's a personal post. I'll go over to my profile here and I'll show you an example. Scrolling down here, here's an example. My wife, my daughter, and I playing in a backyard pool.
Oh, this is so sweet.
This is an example of building up rapport with my audience. Let's go back to the calendar. So I've got a personal post, then I've got my 2-step. Down here, I might like to use what's called LFB. This is a long form business post. So I'm gonna write some long form copy, probably use an image, and give a lot of value to my audience. I'm gonna be talking about filling out Facebook groups, again, sticking with the theme. And then I've got one more Monday here on my profile. I might ask a question, asking my audience something about filling out Facebook groups. Might be something like, what's your favorite thing about running a Facebook group? Or what's the hardest thing about running a Facebook group? Again, I'm getting my audience thinking about this theme so they're excited for my workshop. And this is exactly what you can do as well. So that covers my Mondays. Now I'm gonna go back up to the top of my calendar. On Wednesdays, I like to post a reel on my personal profile. Now, why do I do this? So I'm just gonna copy and paste this onto every Wednesday for the month. I like to do this because I know that Facebook loves Facebook Reels. I'll go over to my profile. I'll show you here. When I start creating reels like this, Facebook, the algorithm really likes it. And not only does it show lots of people my Facebook Reels, but Facebook will also start showing more people my other pieces of content, which helps get people excited about this overall theme for the month. And so I'm actually going to show you a specific example here. Here's a better example. This says Facebook group for new clients. And so this particular reel is talking about getting sales from a Facebook group. So this might be the perfect type of reel to post in a month where the month is all about filling up your Facebook group. And so now that you see that strategy, when you go back here, now it makes a lot of sense that every single week you should probably be creating a reel around the theme for your entire month of content. Now there is one more regular type of piece of content that I like to create, and that's again back over in my free group on Thursdays. I like to post a video. And this video is just adding value. It's giving people a reason to want to participate inside my group. And so I'm going to copy and paste this onto each Thursday for the month. Again, these videos have something to do with the theme for the month, getting people excited all about this event down here, this workshop, so that they're going to want to attend. They're going to want to be there. And so that's step number 4, is filling in the blanks. And now we've got quite a nice content calendar here. You might be wondering, well, what about email and what about your client Facebook group? Let's talk about email first. What I like to do with my email is send an email to my email list anytime I've got a piece of content that's really important that I want people to take action on. So I'm going to show you an example here. On this Tuesday, the 23rd, when there was an event posted inside my Facebook group, I want to make sure everyone in that Facebook group sees it. So I'm going to go to my email and I'm going to send an email to my email list talking about this event with a link that directs people back to the event where they can say, yes, I'm going to go. And I would do the same with any important pieces of content. So as another example, I've got this 2-step that's teasing out this idea of filling up your Facebook group faster with leads. And so I want to make sure that everyone in my audience audience sees this, well, I can use my email list. So I'm going to send an email on this same day, directing people back to that two-step, the post on my personal Facebook profile, and I'm going to get more engagement on that post. And I'll show you one more example here of another place that I'd use email is after the workshop actually happens. Let's just imagine that there's a recording, and if people want the recording, they can get a copy of it. Well, after the workshop happens, I might send out an email with the recording link, and this will get more people to go and watch the replay or the recording, which is more opportunity to make sales. So that's the fifth step, filling in all your opportunities to send people over to your content using your email list. And you can do this whether you have an email list of 50 people or 50,000 people. It doesn't matter. It's another way to get more eyeballs on your most important pieces of content. And those are the 5 steps that I take. And you can see in just a few minutes here, we create an entire content calendar for a month that's got a theme, it's got a conversion mechanism, it's got promotion, it's got everything that you need to drive a lot of engagement on your content and to drive sales. But I realized I still didn't answer that question. Well, what about this? What about the content inside my Facebook group that's for clients only? Well, I actually don't plan any content there. In fact, all the content that happens inside my client group, it's very ad hoc. Let me show you an example here. So here's an example of a training that Lucy and I did, and this is inside of our Unipro group. So only our paying clients get access to this. And this is all about lead generation essentials, the must-have steps for attracting your ideal leads daily. And this topic was coming up a lot inside our Unipro group. And so we saw there's an opportunity for us to give more value only to our paying members, showing them some strategies that no one else has seen. There's a piece of content. It came directly from our clients saying, hey, we'd like help with this. We'd like some new ideas for this. And that's what you can do as well. Listen to what your clients are asking for, and that's what you create your content around. There is one more thing that I want to say about creating content for your client group. I'm gonna go over to my Unipro. This is called the Unipro dashboard. And so when people join us in Unipro, this is what they get access to. They get all kinds of training and all kinds of Facebook strategy, all kinds of marketing strategy in here. And so I know what the content is that's already provided inside of our dashboard. It doesn't make sense to go and recreate that for our clients. Instead, what you can do is take the content that's already given to your clients and create supplementary content. It doesn't make sense to recreate this content inside of our client group, but when I go back and show you this training, this was supplementary. It was above and beyond the training that was already given inside the Unipro dashboard. And that's what you can do as well if you're selling some sort of course or some sort of coaching program. Create supplementary content inside your client-only group. Now, I know we just covered a lot and it might seem a little bit overwhelming, but as you practice this, it gets easier and easier and easier to create content calendars that not only get attention, not only get eyeballs, not only get engagements, but actually drive sales. And I do want to say in full transparency that while this is exactly the content plan that I use every single month for all my online businesses, I do also have a special tool, a secret weapon, and it's called Unipro. If you've never checked it out before, you gotta go check it out. Go over to unipro.com. Unipro is a software tool that goes out and gets leads on Facebook. It nurtures those leads for me. It fills up my Facebook group. It does all of my Facebook marketing for me so that I can focus on creating really great content that adds value to my audience. If you run an online business, I know you're gonna absolutely love Unipro. Go over to unipro.com. That's what I got for you in this video. If this was helpful, give this video a like. And if you have any comments or questions about building your own content calendar, about applying anything that we just talked about, go ahead and leave those questions below and I'm happy to help out. And again, if you haven't checked out Unipro, you got to check it out. Go over to unipro.com. Thanks for checking out this video and I can't wait to see you in the next video.